Hoyo! And we're back, bitches, with another episode of the Dangerville Podcast for that fat ass.
What up?
Got Boss D in his house. You got Mock3 in his house. And our fucking bitch-ass friend Adam Wood bitched out tonight. We had a guest. We were talking about him last week. Our buddy Adam Wood. You fuck.
Poor Wood right now. I was like, God damn it, it's some shit out of my control, you fucking assholes.
He had to like work overtime, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking not roast his bitch ass.
Indeed. Totally breaking balls with, but it's unfortunate. It would be good to have you here, brother.
So we'll get Wood in here next time. That hard wood that we've been looking for up in here. All right, so my new thing. And shout out to Noah, did this last time. He just came out with a fucking random question right off the bat.
Like it.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty hilarious. So I'm going to do that like it's my thing now.
Oh, yeah, gotta steal it, dude. We're stealing the rest of this podcast, so might as well take that material.
It's my show, so I'm going to take full credit for doing that.
Let's get a little R show here. Who's this?
Yeah.
We got the Boss Danger Hour, written, produced, directed, edited, sound checked by Boss Danger.
Other people also involved.
Boss Danger Incorporated, this motherfucker. I'm going to set the stage right here. Dangerville Podcast with both Boss Danger and Mock3. You fucking
it's
smug
mostly
son
me.
Of a bitch. Rat motherfucker.
Shave's coming through with the way better material here also.
Rat fink fucking bastard.
All right, so here's the question that I wanted to ask this week, and it would have been funny if there were more people to answer, but if you could fuck any cartoon character, what cartoon character would you fuck?
All right, I've got a tentative answer right off the bat, but a caveat / question to what's allowable here. So I think the obvious choice has got to be Ariel from Little Mermaid, but do I get the option of Mermaid Ariel or standing leg fucking Ariel? Either way, I think the answer might be Mermaid Fish Ariel.
Ariel was probably on my list too. I would say
it's on everybody's list. Dude.
I would say that you got to fuck her both ways.
Yeah.
I would say
if you're in, number one.
If you're in, you got to, go down on the fucking fish the fucking fish scales, dude. You got to do what you got to do.
Right. You got to do work. You got to accept her for who she is, right? Body positivity, all that stuff kicking in.
Yeah. My answer was going to be, do you know who She-Ra is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
She-Ra,
not super familiar, but some kind of pseudo-female He-Man type thing, right? Okay.
Precisely what it is.
Yeah.
He-Man was the biggest thing ever, so they tried to make it like a girl thing or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And like when I was a kid, for some reason, I'd always want to watch that and not He-Man.
For some reason, quote unquote, as little Ross is getting all fucking chubbed up in the pants.
Didn't have anything to do with this gigantic. It was like did you ever see Heavy Metal, like that Heavy Metal movie or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Heavy Metal. That shit.
Heavy Metal kicks an absurd amount of ass, by the way.
That's really what it was. It's just those cartoon titties. Didn't South Park do that, too? They did a Heavy Metal.
Oh, yeah. The whole, the cat piss episode where you get high off huffing cat piss.
Calling heavy metal.
That's a funny fucking episode, dude. Cheesing. Signs that your child might be cheesing. They use expressions like, hey, man, let's go get cheese, dude.
I was also obsessed with Minnie Mouse.
Well, cartoon bestiality action there.
I mean, Minnie
That's a bold
got
call,
them.
my friend.
Minnie got them fucking. She got them big old mouse titties going on.
Indeed.
Mickey's hitting it.
Didn't they go? So I might be conflating things here because this is now the case with everything. But didn't they kind of de-sexify Minnie Mouse? Like, didn't they bail on the bow and all this stuff?
Yes.
Isn't that a thing? Okay.
Yeah, they made her more like. I don't know, I don't want to say tomboyish, just, I don't know, this tried to modernize her, whatever, like, it's not like the high heels, it's like sneakers and like...
Sexually androgynous, she's got Birkenstock sandals and now drives a Subaru Outback. You don't know what she's getting.
Her pronouns are now...
Excuse me, Mickey. I don't identify as
Mickey's whoa.
Good for her. That's a new age woman in a new age world. Shout out Minnie Mouse.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is I'd probably fuck Minnie Mouse if it came down to it. I had Minnie Mouse dolls, so I would rub her nose.
This is already one of the 5 creepiest stories I've ever.
I'm telling you, I didn't think about this one at all, but this is gold. And I had this one, and it was like a rubber nose, like it was, like her face is like rubber.
Yeah.
And so I'd like rub the nose, that that pointy nose.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
And it wore the paint off the nose. Like her black nose became, I don't know, whatever the color of the fucking the flesh color. Of
you
the
are a sick, degenerate fuck, my friend. I'm finding out new things that we have known each other for a very long time. This is some hot gas right here.
But I will say,
gas.
I was into the fucking, like the bitches then. Like, Josh, my brother, would watch He-Man, but I wanted to watch She-Ra.
Right.
Most kids wanted Mickey Mouse, but I wanted Minnie Mouse.
Indeed.
Like, what's up? I don't know what the fuck to tell you,
Oh, man. So when you say rubbing it, like, I need a little more explanation on this.
Right.
Like, there was some photograph here. Like, let's set the scene a little bit.
No. So it's a doll. And it's a doll.
Okay.
And her face is like rubber. So it's like a floppy doll, but her face is like that hard rubber shit. And I think the hands were too. And
this continues to get more creepy. I didn't think it could get any more so. But
and I was like obsessed with like, I would just like take my thumb. It's like fucking, it's literally, dude, like, it was pre-clit rubbing, dude. You just fucking, I guess I would just rub the nose with my thumb. And I had to be like, I don't even know, man, 3, 4, something like this, 34.
And by that, I was going to say, 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. And, and then I would nut.
That early nut when you can't quite get the nut off, you don't exactly know what's going on. Like something weird's going down south. I can't quite identify it. Feels like something's a little bit lacking, but
yeah. And so then I would make sweet, sweet love to it.
Indeed.
Yep. So I would say Minnie Mouse would have to be up there, but Ariel. It's funny that you said that. I'm like, okay, well, I guess fucking like everybody was into Ariel.
Oh yeah, That's
Those
the easy choice there. Smoking ginger cartoon. Come on, brother.
Goddamn.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. I should have it should have been non-human. It's fucked up.
I don't even know, man. My cartoon knowledge doesn't go that deep on that now that I'm thinking about it in that fucking perverse way, but there's got to be some kind of little X-Men cartoon back in the day. You remember the X-Men cartoon?
I mean, any of the comic book characters are fine as fuck. I mean, that's what they were doing. Fucking
little Rogue, Jean
dude.
Grey.
Jesus Christ, with the and the accent, and like they're so like over the top.
The shock and the bulls as you're going at it.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, any of the X-Men, fucking. Well, I mean, like the ultimate is Catwoman, dude. I mean, come on, dude. The leather.
Is there a Catwoman cartoon? I'm sure there are probably multiple Catwoman cartoons.
There's been whole comics and all of it.
Right,
the whole deal. On that, we were talking about Batman and the Joker and Folie à Deux last week.
Smuggest sequel name ever, to be clear.
Did you hear this? Did you see the news about this?
Did you hear about this?
Starring, now just announced, Lady Gaga starring as Harley Quinn in Folie à Deux. And apparently, this is what I saw, so I could be wrong, but I saw that apparently the whole thing's a musical. They're doing it as a musical, which is going to be, I think it could be sweet, dude. I mean, like, they must have something in mind, like, I think it's going to be pretty killer.
Once again, double throwback to the throwback from the last conversation with movie predictions. I'm going to go ahead and throw a stink out there for this one if they go musical. It could be dead wrong.
The first one was so good.
It was indeed, but is Todd Phillips doing the sequel again?
Okay. Yeah, it's the whole, I don't think they'd fuck around any other way. It's, him and Joaquin are doing it, obviously, doing it again.
Okay.
And, hired some Gaga, and I'm a big Gaga fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty Gaga about
Gaga's
Gaga.
Choice, man. Did you
badass.
catch the remake? So I never saw the original, but what's the singer movie?
I did not see that. No,
it was goddamn phenomenal, man. And she was really good in that. And that's always kind of the sketchy thing, right? When you get singer or athlete or anything else where there's like a legit skill that goes along with it, but also you've got to act or a certain body type, right? Like we need Lou fucking Frigno. We gotta have this guy that's 6'5" and weighs X amount of pounds. So kind of behind the 8 ball to begin with, but she was great in that movie.
Yeah, it got a lot of attention. And fucking Inglot though, shout out to Inglot, was fucking he was hating on that fucking song so hard, and it was so funny because he's a fucking great singer, you know. He's just not that fucking good of a song.
Indeed.
And we were in Los Angeles on Oscar night that year when they were winning all the Oscars for that.
Rolling red carpet with the Inglot and crew.
So yeah, I mean, you know, we was down there at the Oscars, you know, I had to slap Chris Rock, you know, but I didn't get any fucking press about it, dude. I slapped Chris Rock before it was cool.
Talking about slapping Chris Rock well before everybody else, before it was fashionable.
Who the fuck this cracker come up and slap my ass?
Indeed.
Will Smith was defending him.
Right.
It was wild down there though, because that's the only time I've been there during fucking Oscar time or whatever. But it's crazy because they got like, it's like obviously the whole town is doing that, so it's like shut down, dude.
Yeah,
and like they like actually have to like helicopter like the fucking stars and shit in because you can't get down there, so they have to like. So like there's like blimps and lights and helicopter, and from his crib you can see like a lot of that shit. Like,
is he that close to downtown?
I mean, it's, you know.
Or is he like elevated?
LA's a small town, bro.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not. It's literally the biggest fucking place.
It's got a real mom and pop feel to it.
But he's up. I mean, there's a lot of hills. Obviously, people are in hills, but like you're up in a hill, so like I don't know. And we had the TV on and shit, so I'm probably conflating all of it, and probably none of this really happened. And I've never actually been to Los Angeles, so.
Indeed. Do you remember the really going off on this Inglot tangent here, but Inglot eating the fudge round back in the day, or oatmeal material or whatever it was? God,
he was
shit,
just
dude.
in town, and we were trying to meet up, and it didn't happen. But I was trying to get him. I was like, dude, we're here on Friday. I was like, Shave's here on Friday. You should come. And I was going to try to get him on here, and I was going to tell him about that. But yes, that's one of the funniest things.
Like, I'm all set. I'm all set on that.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate right now. But yeah, he used to fucking he used to take a fudge round or a oatmeal cream pie and break it apart like it was a fucking Oreo, and he would scrape the frosting out with his teeth.
It was a disconcerting sight to see the best. Also, I feel like we're probably missing a low-hanging fruit cream pie joke in here somewhere with this material, but
everything's Freudian, dude. Inglot loves a cream pie in his mouth, dude.
Inglot loves going down on a cream pie like you love fucking going down on Minnie Mouse's rubber nose on the fucking...
Yeah, I should have saved that one.
Oh, man, I haven't seen Inglot in a hot minute, dude.
Yeah, Inglot's the man.
He's living life. Is he still doing the music stuff and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to him every now and then. Last time I was out there, he still does like, they do like big weddings and shit.
Okay.
You know, he's doing like that kind of shit, and then he does like video editing and whatever.
That's badass, man. That's
mostly porn. Well, hilariously, and we won't go super into it, but he used to work for a fucking big name porn guy out there. We'll save that for another time until we can get Inglot on the show to talk about that shit.
Gotta get the stamp of approval on that one for sure.
Oh, I mean, it ain't no secret, but like, I just want him to talk about it. We'll have to get his ass over here somehow, some way to talk about that. That shit deserves its own podcast, dude. There should be a documentary about. We just need to like produce a whole documentary about Inglot.
Right. Be huge, man. The saga of Inglot.
Indeed.
Let's lure him out here with boxes and boxes of cream pie donuts. What those things were, Little Debbie's.
His other funniest thing was when we were in. I mean, there's a lot of funny Inglot stories, but he the fucking butter dimple in the pancakes. When you have a glob of butter on pancakes, and it like melts down like through the pancake.
Oh yeah,
and it's like his joy, his utter reverence for the section of pancake that had the butter soaked into it.
Indeed.
We were high as fuck at Denny's in the middle of the night out there one time. And he was just fucking going off about the butter dimple.
Oh, man. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sweet cylinder of goodness. Yeah. Dude, so obviously Denny's is like one of the go-to places back in college, right? Limited 24-hour options, hitting all that stuff up at absurd hours in the morning. But I got violent fucking food poisoning from a grand slam at Denny's one time, dude.
I think everybody has. That's,
indeed, yeah. It's kind of a rite of passage.
It really is.
It really is. Denny's, you got to come to the territory and got to be prepared.
Yeah.
To take the good with the bad when it comes to Denny's.
You ever been to, I mean, obviously you have, but what do you think of Waffle House?
I've only been there once, which seems shocking to me. What with the degenerate food choices I have and continue to make my entire life. Not good, dude. I'm not even for effect. I would literally take a homemade Eggo over that shit. Maybe it was just a bunk Waffle House. It was out in BFE,
Where
but then
were
again,
you?
Presumably all of them are. I don't know if it was on like somewhere in Florida. Like I almost want to say, do you remember going down to a band camp in Florida back, or not band camp, but like the band trip where you do the bullshit marching thing like 8th grade? I think we hit a Waffle House down there, I want to say, or maybe it was sometime way after that, but it was not good, man.
Dude, I've had such good Waffle House. I can't believe it. Oh my God.
I'm going to have to revisit it.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere. There's literally a million of them.
Yeah.
Fucking bomb-ass eggs and bacon and shit. I've had some good-ass Waffle House.
Sucker for breakfast across the board, man.
Me
Give
too,
me
man.
breakfast for dinner over a steak any day. Dude.
And
I
Waffle
fucking
House,
love
dude, you're
breakfast
in and
for dinner.
out. They're just fucking slinging fucking eggs and shit. And we were like, we were in there for like, last time we were in one, it was like 15 minutes we were in and out. And it was like fucking the hottest, freshest breakfast, dude. It was fucking great. But let me tell you my Waffle House story now. So I was bragging about Waffle House to Susan. She'd never been to one. All right, same thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's Waffle House. It's the shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take you. And we're in St. Louis.
Really
We're
treating
like,
her right, by the way.
I
Really
know,
classing it
hey,
up there.
Hey.
That's how you keep a woman happy. Waffle House. And
Bro, Waffle House is where it's
crowd
at.
pleaser 100% of the time.
You got a smothered, covered, whatever. So we're in St. Louis. And I'm like, all right, you've never been. I'm going to take. We go to Waffle House, and it's like, we eat. It's fine. It's no big deal or whatever. And we're leaving, and we pay, and we're coming out, and I kind of realized, like, shit just seems fucking weird. And I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, the dude behind us walks out, who like paid behind us, and he looks like fucking Busta Rhymes. He's enormous.
Yes.
Black dude with huge dreads. He looks like Busta. He's huge. And all of a sudden, dude, literally it was like swarm. The fucking it was guys in fucking every fucking SUV pulled up, guys with fucking guns and the jackets
Christ,
and shit,
man.
and they fucking the whole deal. They fucking grabbed this motherfucker, they put him on the ground, and I'm just like, yeah, it's Waffle House, baby. This is like how it is.
This is Waffle House 101 right here. Damn, that's out of control,
Yeah,
dude.
it was crazy. It was St. Louis. I was like, yeah, we're in the STL.
By the way, gotta say, man, Busta Rhymes, for as long as he's been around, feels like he continues to fly under the radar. And by that, I mean, like, obviously is of no consequence these days. But even in the prime Busta days, like, never felt like that cat got the respect he deserved, man. Busta's fucking choice. I love this Busta.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best. Did you see how fucking fat he got?
No,
All
no.
right, I got to pull it up. Jamie.
Side note, while that's going on, I don't know if you ever caught. So I think it was a Netflix documentary called Stretchin' Bobbito, which is apparently like kind of the seminal rap talk show back in the day. It started out as like a college radio station, just totally organically grown.
Right.
And like the biggest rappers ever came out of there. Like that was how people got heard back in the day. It was a super underground thing.
Damn.
Like talking Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, countless others, dude.
Yeah, that's what we need to
Little
get on
aside
here.
there. Is that, oh
All right,
my
check
Christ,
out how
dude.
fucking fat Busta got, dude.
Busta Rhymes busting belt lines by the looks of things.
Soak him in. Yeah, he's had a whole weight loss journey and shit.
Oh my God! So is the right Busta Rhymes picture
That's what it
current
is.
Busta
Yeah,
Rhymes?
so
Okay,
this is
getting
like-
back to basics.
Yeah, this is probably the 2019 or something like that.
That's
Soak him
prime
in.
COVID Busta Rhymes just holding up at home.
Just eating
Holy
fucking
shit,
Twinkies and shit.
That's a staggeringly alarming
Just
photo,
going,
dude.
give me some more.
Oatmeal cream pie. Give me some more. Yeah, Fat Joe, by the way, speaking of stretching Bobbito, got to start. all
Busta's
these fucking
fatter
guys,
than
man.
Fat Joe in this
Yeah,
picture.
dude, he is out of control, dude. Busting scales. I got Busta Rhymes jokes for days.
I
Dude.
had to change his
Now I got
name
a
to
million.
Busta Scales.
Oh man, it's crazy. And that's what is that shirt he's wearing in that one? By the way, that Cosby looking. That thing's fucking dope, dude. I want that
Bro, he had
shirt
to go to the
immediately.
fucking the big and tall section or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
He had to get a moo-moo.
Right. That's literally just a shower curtain. It's like, I got nothing right now. I got a show in 20 minutes, dude.
So did you hear, have you heard the new Eminem and Snoop Dogg song.
Yes,
It is very, very choice.
It was
I liked
pretty
it a
choice.
lot.
The Snoop kind of dabbling in that super fast M stuff, which I'm sure he's probably gone pretty fast before, but haven't heard him going fast like that. It's like, whoa, dude.
Eminem probably wrote most of that shit, let's be honest.
Oh, indeed. So with Snoop laying off the weed, I feel like usually he's got that real fucking laid back vibe, dude. He's really getting after. I feel like that was probably months of preparation. Bumblebee. Talking voice exercises, working with Inglot out in LA, getting that voice situation top gear, dude.
Yeah. And then I heard that there's a new, like a whole bunch of new fucking Dre and Snoop shit that they're doing, that they're going to be putting out on Death Row. That Snoop
on that Westmore, the elusive Mount Westmore fucking app that I cannot find for the life of me.
No, this is something I think they're going to put it out on Death Row. And so some dude, I forget his name, so sorry, the guys that are super into it, but he was like a financier of Death Row back in the day, and he's like still tight with these guys.
Okay.
And he was saying that he was in the studio with them and that they're working on shit, and he said it's chronic level shit that they're working on.
Damn, dude.
And because I would imagine that as soon as Snoop acquired Death Row, that it's like, you know, obviously Dre is gonna be involved. He's not gonna be an owner or whatever necessarily because he's got his own shit or whatever. But I mean, Death Row was fucking Dre's label. You know, like you can't like.
Indeed. Dre's getting in on that sweet action for sure.
So I'd imagine the first thing they're gonna do is say, all right, well, we got to do a new fucking Dre and Snoop full on. I mean, I've been saying for years, like, I mean, Dr. Dre needs to do a lot of things. Like I'm fucking telling him what to do, but he needs to do.
Listen up, Dre.
I know, Dre. Yo, I know you're listening to this fucking podcast, bro. Listen to me right now. Fuck the Super Bowl. You need to fucking do the Chronic. You should have had the Chronic 2020, and now you need to be doing the Chronic 2025.
Indeed.
There's no reason for you to not be doing this. Come on, man. People have been saying that shit for years. What are you doing, dude? Fuck Kendrick Lamar. All right,
dude. I do not like Kendrick Lamar. So I'm a big golf or music while golfing guy, right? So cue up some Pandora, try to switch it up. But hip hop's one of the go-tos, right? And get that nice relaxed feel for the swing, get a little swing lube going. And universally, when I got the Dre station popped up on Pandora and some dog shit song comes up, I'm like, who the fuck is this? This stinks. And it's Kendrick Lamar every time.
Yep.
And people are just jacking off over like he's the second coming. I don't get it, man. And granted, like, not, you know, far from a hip-hop maven aficionado, whatever, but know enough to be dangerous. And that cat just does not get it done for me, man. Yeah. Not one bit. The Game, on the other hand, who I think has probably been out for like 30 years, and I'm a fucking old man, so I'm 20 years late to the party on all this shit, but been catching a little Game lately. As far as like new style Dre stuff and that whole crew, like Game is far superior to Kendrick Lamar.
Beefing with those guys or something right now, I think. The Game is.
You always got to wonder if it's legit beef, though, or if it's just kind of like an act and whatnot, you know, because that's half of the game in hip-hop. It's talking shit. You get the diss tracks going, so how much of that's manifested versus everything else. But the Game's huge.
Does the Game's many hip-hop beefs. Him and like 50 Cent right now, or 50 Cent right now. Or,
let's get it right here.
Yeah, whatever. The Game is fucking dominant. He is fucking really good, so I'll give him that. He's fucking huge.
Is 50 Cent still doing anything, or is he just kicking back and living off that vitamin water money these days?
I would imagine. He was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And everybody was fucking making fun of him because he was also a little hefty. And he's got those little sausage fingers. Dude, my friends at work, this girl I know, she was like, did you see how small his fingers are? And I was like, no, I didn't. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh my God, he's got Donald
enormous
Trump.
Cock on that guy, though, dude.
He's got the littlest fucking
8-inch
sausage
hog
fingers.
with extra small glove hands. Yeah.
I never really liked 50 Cent, though. I mean, like, he's fine and everything, but I don't know. His flow doesn't do a lot for me.
Ditto, yeah.
I don't know.
Some pretty cool beats, though. Like, primarily, I'm a beat guy, I'd say, first and foremost, rap-wise, and it's just generally about
but that's, again, fucking, like, you know, Dre and Dre's producers, his guys that make those beats and shit. I mean, those two big 50 Cent albums were, you know, Dr. Dre and Eminem produced or whatever. Yep. So, Yeah, it all comes back to Dr. Dre, and he's probably not doing any of it. He's just fucking getting all the credit.
Oh yeah, just executive producing the shit out of that stuff, slapping his name on it, making a big buck. Dude. Anything
just took some
ecstasy. Right. It's just gold though, man. And getting back to Snoop, I feel like we might have went off on Snoop before. I don't know, but it's so fucked up now because like he just like, you know, he's such a cultural icon. You forget how goddamn great he is at rap. Like he's the GOAT, man. He's the fucking best as far as my money's concerned, man. Give me Snoop all day, every day.
And he's still super productive, and that's like one of the best things is he's dropping music like crazy.
And
like
it's great.
It's killer. New albums. Mount Westmore. He's got a new movie coming out. Just fucking acquired Death Row.
Oh yeah,
he was like executive producing for Def Jam there for a minute too, like right before Death Row, and he put out some album with them where he had a couple songs, but it was kind of like a mixtape kind of thing.
Yeah,
which was also really good. Yeah, man, fucking Snoop is just.
He's kind of been taking a page out of that Dre playbook in terms of like overall business stuff. Like he's getting to be a savvy business motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's getting into all these NFTs and that kind of stuff. He bought this is like a year-old story or something now, but did you see he bought like the most expensive property in the metaverse ever? I forgot what he paid for it, but like some absurd fucking you know, multiple millions of dollars for it.
Which I don't know, man. I'm skeptical on that metaverse shit a little bit. Snoop's all in on that shit though.
I don't know that much about, which is fucked up because I like live in digital marketing. That's what I do for a living, but that whole thing is still kind of mysterious to me. Don't really know dick about it.
Yeah, I just kind of don't care. It's just kind of like I'm kind of aging out on some of that shit. I'm like, I don't want to live in the metaverse, guys.
Well, the whole
like,
fake world thing, I don't know. Until I can start getting handies in there and feeling it, like I'm all set on some metaverse.
Yeah, until I can bang Scarlett Johansson. Like, I'll wait. I'm going to be a late adopter on that.
Right. Until I can punch the digital version of fucking Zuckerberg in his grill, I'm all set on the metaverse.
Did you see like he did that whole? Did you watch when they announced that shit? Zuckerberg put out that huge like commercial and shit about it. Did you watch any of that?
The weird, not like the Zuckerberg. I saw the general like with the kids dancing with the shit in the background.
It was like a whole thing, and like Zuckerberg was in the metaverse like as himself, and like everybody was like, he's more human in the metaverse than he is in the real world.
He's
like
more human than human. Yeah.
He looked, because you know everybody's like he's a fucking robot. Like he looks so fucking like alien and shit.
Well, for who he is and how he does this whole thing, and he's like obviously a pretty socially awkward dude to begin with, but he's probably far more at home in that whole digital world than real life, right? Like dude's just basically a super nerd to begin with, so you kind of get him like out of that socially awkward situation, put him in the fucking metaverse and let him do his thing.
He is a nerdy fuck.
Zuckerberg just cracking zingers in one line is, hey everybody,
It's crazy how some like the three like richest guys, 3 or 4 richest guys in the world are like, they're fucking top level nerds, man.
Oh yeah,
they are goddamn nerds, dude. Bill Gates is the nerdiest motherfucker.
Yeah,
he's so fucking nerdy.
Well, it makes all the sense in the world though, because you look at the direction of everything business wise and everything that's really generating that level of money. It's all sort of that world, right? Like everything, obviously, spoiler alert, has been going increasingly digital forever. But to be good at that, I mean, it was just like, dude, like he's our age, Zuckerberg, you know? So it's those cats like us, like socially awkward, fucking building home computers, doing his thing. Totally immersing yourself in that,
stealing other people's shit.
Yeah, right.
Stealing your friends' fucking intellectual property.
Like in a Winklevoss twins, going, God damn it!
I never saw the Zuckerberg movie, the
Social Network.
I never saw Social Network.
Oh man,
Yep.
Social Network is one of my, I'd call it 5. That maybe like. Call it top 10 favorite movie of all time. It's fucking fantastic. David Fincher.
Yeah,
dude.
Fincher. And like I was obsessed with the soundtrack because of the fucking Nine Inch Nails shit.
Yeah, it's
those guys did all.
Yeah, Reznor and some other cat was on there doing the whole thing.
Atticus.
Yeah, Atticus Ross, right?
Yeah.
Written by Aaron Sorkin. It is a fucking
top level talent.
It's one of those movies where you just watch it over and over and over and it never loses steam. Like you almost can't see it enough. It's fucking great.
Damn.
Timberlake stinks in it, by the way. Like,
I didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah, he plays the Napster dude. I forget what the actual guy's name is, but like the dude that started Napster and all that shit, he plays him.
Really?
So huge fan of Timberlake musically, but as an actor, I think he's the biggest piece of dog shit out there. I got into a big argument with this dude, this copywriter at the place that I used to work with back in the day, who was just exalting the greatness of all things Timberlake. And I'm like, dude, he is an unwatchably terrible actor.
Yeah, he's not great. Like, I haven't seen all his movies. And I don't know. I watched some movie with him where he was like, it was like the future, and he had some kind of time stamp on your fucking arm, and I got like 10 minutes in, and I was just like, ugh.
It stinks. Yeah, exactly.
It was so bad.
And that's a bummer because the premise of that flick, it's like, oh, this should be by all rights an incredible movie, but then, you get the Timberlake stink factor in there, and it's no bueno, man.
Yeah.
It's real unfortunate.
Yeah, Timberlake sucks. He was in that movie with he's in like a bunch of romantic comedies and shit, isn't he? Is that movie where he was fucking Mila Kunis or whatever?
Yeah, I'll kind of allow that movie. I get a reel. That should be a confession. Speaking of spoiled confessions, big rom-com fan, I'm not gonna lie. Love me some rom-coms.
Really? Yeah, no thanks.
Solid flick. Mila Kunis, she was in a movie that came out last year. I think that was up for an Oscar, where she was playing like a recovering opiate addict. Glenn Close was her mom.
Wow.
Okay. Who dude from Office Space / Bill Dauterive's voice. Stephen Root. There we go.
Stephen Root, the man. He was also in News Radio with fucking Joe Rogan.
Yes. Oh, man. I forgot all about News Radio.
I was a big News Radio fan, and so I knew who Joe Rogan was, like, way before everybody else, and it was merely a whisper. Because I loved that show, and I'd watch it when it was on, and he was just like a kind of a bit part, I would say, or he was like definitely not one of the bigger players on the show.
Yeah.
And then like later it was like Fear Factor. I was like, that's that fucking guy from News Radio.
Well, the News Radio thing, because they always are talking about that. I think there might have been a documentary about that, as there is for fucking everything. Phil Hartman in News Radio, by the way, classic. But they're always in dog shit time slots and getting bumped around. That was like TV Guide era, but no Googler shit, so nobody knew where to find them and all that. The speaking of Rogan and back in the day, Rogan, the thing that blew my mind, do you remember? And I thought it was bullshit at the time, but Skoke. Do you remember Skoke was always going off about like, yeah, play Quake against Joe Rogan, because Rogan is like the 13th ranked Quake player in the world, or some absurdly random thing. I don't
remember Skoke saying that. I know Skoke was in a bunch of Quake tournaments, and was like, he was top, dude. He was like fucking in those early tournaments.
He was elite. But he was always going off about, Joe, me and Rogan going at it bad.
That's so
hand
funny.
to hand. But
Skoke, you got to get on fucking Rogan, bro.
Right?
Come on, man. You got that in.
Well, it kind of felt I didn't know if he was bullshitting at the time or what, but obviously Rogan's always going off around and out the old gamer days and stuff. But
that's hilarious. I do not remember Skoke talking about playing against
soak
Rogan.
It in. Yeah. Skoke and Rogan, just a real showdown, a real battle.
Skoke lives in Texas too, so they should fucking
going mano a mano down there for sure.
Have that fucking Quake throwback.
So Skoke bought that, what was it, Ghosts and Goblins arcade machine. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
What a punishingly hard game that shit was, dude. Not so much the actual Nintendo version, but the old school arcade version, because everything was intentionally harder.
Yeah, because it'd take
your
money. So they
could suck those quarters out of those little shits, right?
So our roommate in college, Skoke, who we're talking about, he bought a full-size arcade game, like the full thing with the joysticks and all that, of Ghosts and Goblins, the original Ghosts and Goblins, and it's only like 8 levels long or whatever. And he fucking set it up in our living room, or in our dining room or whatever, and it was just on all the fucking time. You could see it from. I'm like, man, somebody's gonna break in here and steal this fucker. But it was so goddamn hard.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you could play it unlimited amounts of times, and I never got past, like, the 3rd level or whatever, but he beat it a couple of times.
As did I, as a matter of fact, but the fucking kick to the balls is, dude, you beat it, and it's just, you're on the fucking mountaintop at that point. You're like, this is the greatest achievement of my wildly underaccomplished life here. It's really says something, but you get done, and then it comes up with, you know, the little scroll back in the day where they get all the text on there and this backstory and whatnot, and they're just like, all right, now it really starts, and it fucking punts you back to the beginning of the game.
And it's harder.
For an even more punishingly difficult version of the game with more shit that's coming faster, and you cannot undersell the difficulty, possibly oversell, what have you, of this fucking game, dude. And then you get booted back, and it's just like, fuck this, bro. Just a crippling blow to the ego at that point.
I feel like you still want it. You
beat it
You
once,
beat it.
Nobody's gone through that shit twice, dude.
Fucking ridiculous game. Even the ones for, like, when they redid them for, like, Nintendo and Super Nintendo and shit.
Yeah.
They were hard as fuck, too, even then.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, a huge game for Super Nintendo.
Those were fun as shit.
Yeah,
but
dude.
super, super fucking hard.
Oh, man. Yep.
I wonder if they still make those games. There's got to be, like, new versions of them and shit.
Wherever we're talking arcade material, I always think of Brian Doyle Murray.
Yeah.
The older, less successful brother of Bill Murray from Wayne's World, where he owns that arcade when they sponsor the Wayne's World.
Noah's Arcade!
Those kids sit there pumping in the quarters like rats hitting the food pellet. Fucking classic, man.
It's so weird to think about, like, arcades. Like, that shit doesn't really exist anymore. There's still some in, like, a movie theater here and there or something.
What's is it the Pyramid Scheme? One of those concert venues in Grand Rapids has that massive arcade section when you go in, which is a fucking sweet idea.
It's a lot of it's pinball. It's a Pyramid Scheme, and then also Stella's Lounge.
Okay.
When they're owned by the same company or same people.
We got to hit up. There's a game lounge right by my crib, actually, but it's like a newfangled arcade with, like, the full-blown VR, like, sit-down immersive, like, headset. The thing shakes, like, haptic sensors and stuff. Yeah.
I've never done any of that shit, dude.
Nor have I. Have not been there, but it's literally walking distance from the crib, dude. Got to hit that up. We should nerd it out for a couple hours for sure.
Yeah, I heard that shit, that VR shit, man. I've never done any of it. My buddy's got the Oculus or whatever, and I've never tried any of it. Again, unless I can fuck Scarlett Johansson, you know, well, I'll wait till it's just all sex.
I got to imagine it's pretty epic, man.
Yeah, or fuck Minnie Mouse. I mean, like, you know, I'm fucking something in this bitch.
So still no word back from our boy Swanson. We're hoping to get a live correspondence piece from the 20-year class reunion going on right now. They both promptly blew off. I was hoping to get him there for
20-year FHS reunion happening tonight, and we're sitting here jacking each other up.
Hey, this is Swanson, live correspondent. I'm sitting here with Scott Jolman. Jolman, what have you been up to for the last 20 years?
I'm pre-med. I'm a doctor.
I'm a brain surgeon, you assholes.
Yeah, I won gold in in Japan, and then I went on to a illustrious career as a brain surgeon.
Indeed.
All right.
Kind of thinking about going out and trying to prey on some recently divorced former classmates from back in the day, but did not have the gumption to do so.
Indeed. Are there any that have been divorced?
Oh, I got to imagine it's a handful, dude. A couple prime candidates out there, probably. Either divorced or 14 kids, overweight, and
they're either divorced or willing to cheat. Either way,
right. That's a win-win proposition. I'm not gonna lie, the odds are in the favor either way.
Yeah, it sounded like a real shit show out there. So, right. Yeah, what the fuck, Swanson? Maybe just call him. Just fucking call him.
Give him a whirl here.
He probably won't answer. It's probably like.
Sorry, important phone call.
Yo.
What's
going on there, guy?
Yeah, I'm not doing any kind of live fucking broadcast.
Keep it up.
All right, fair enough. Keep it real. Good talk.
Keep him on.
What's the seat like out there, man? Are there people out there? What's going on?
What?
Are there people out there? What's the seat out there?
People out here. Everybody you know that you graduated
Indeed. This is Morgan's
Which
goof.
are the ones that you already pre-predicted
Right.
immediately? Smash the trade.
Is it good? Is it epic? You guys getting after it, or what's
Yeah, I mean it's you know it's like fucking being in the time machine fucking 20 years ago.
Sounds about right. It's pretty tepid response. I'm not gonna lie. It sounded like a better and better decision to have not come out there, but
Yeah, I'm just soaking it in.
right.
Just soaking it in. Shayla right now, fucking just putting out a vibe. Anybody here right now?
Yeah, I probably should have made the trip out there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's still time, gentlemen.
Right.
Far away.
It's gonna mount up, get out there all shit faced for the last hour or so.
Make like a last 5-minute fucking entry. Just be like,
Hey, everybody! Great crowd out here tonight.
all right, fellas, I gotta let you go.
All right, fair enough.
See ya.
See ya.
Wow.
Well, that was counterproductive and underwhelming, as predicted.
And we're back.
Nice. But so in the context of all that shit, high school reunion, obviously, I'm starting to think back to all the material back in the day and everything. And I was, do you remember doing? Well, I'm sure you remember, but hitting up mock rock back in the day was Styx and Mr. Roboto and the epic performance that was Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
The mock rock winning performance that was
Indeed.
Mr. Roboto.
Yes.
So used to do this big thing at our school back in the day, mock rock, right? Like some air band stuff, make some fake instruments, lip sync, do the whole thing. Decided to roll Styx Mr. Roboto back in the day. So hit up Valleyland. You remember all that? Scoring those like little those little absurd tank tops that were all mesh and shit, and just like the most inappropriate gear we could find.
Yep.
Got the whole robot head thing going, killer costume. By the way, I think the robot head, if I remember correctly, was repurposed from a few years back mock rock of doing Beastie Boys Intergalactic, which I ended up bailing on for a choice party back in the day. I don't remember if we ever really had this conversation or not, but it had to be done at the time. It was an epic party. It was kind of a loser.
Huge failure.
All the cool kids had to be done, but in any event, hitting that up, dude, and Mod, that special guest appearance from Mod as the robot.
Right? Yeah.
Humping Hitler's face back in the day, getting all up in that business, dude. We had that big Styx banner that we came jumping out
we had
through
the
and
mini
broke through
tramp,
that thing.
And fucking like keytars.
Oh, the mini tramp! I forgot about the mini tramp material. God damn, that was well executed.
It
Across
really
the
was,
board, dude.
And we won first place, obviously, and fucking all the girls did like a dance routine. And they practiced so hard, and they worked so hard, and they were so pissed because we didn't do anything.
There was no
preparation
goddamn
at all.
Well, the other aspect of that, remember, because it was like me, you, Evans, possibly a fourth, I don't remember, but everybody played instruments back in the day, so like we could legit, learn and played the song and did that, and
Swanson did the fucking lead. He was the lead singer.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot about all that. Yeah, but super awesome. Also made me think of the just now the mock rock performance we got shafted on, which also should have been first place. The original mock rock off of Tool Opiate doing Sweat. Where we got robbed by some bullshit leader of the pack fucking material that won on Nostalgia Factor alone.
We were so ahead of our time, though, dude, in the 8th grade.
8th grade, laying down lick for lick, air guitar and air drum style Sweat.
I was painted red and blue and the whole deal, dude.
That acrylic, I still tell people that story because you bought that like fucking acrylic house paint or whatever. Just like wildly dangerous, closing up all the pores, just covered head to toe, that half red, half blue.
I had the shirt all dyed and shit, and I had the like skull cap before.
I'm pretty sure you went shirtless, bro. Maybe not.
No, I had a skin tight white shirt that was dyed, and then like boxer briefs that were also dyed because you couldn't go shirtless or obviously.
Okay.
And so it was like I had those on, and then a fucking skull cap that like went over. I had hair at this time. That was just, it's fucking really
The
hilarious.
jokes were coming. You cut that one off of the pass. That was well played. That was a better move on your part right there.
So I had that, and so all painted up and everything. And then I was wearing like fucking like some kind of like winter boots, like or whatever.
Yeah, yep.
And then we had the fucking Dobberstein was all painted like silver. We like looked at the pictures of like what Tool was doing at that time, and it was all like painted all silver and weird and shit.
Couldn't have knocked that shit out of the park any harder.
We fucking nailed it, dude.
It was so good, man.
I feel like there's a picture somewhere, and man, we got to try to find that shit, dude.
Got to get that picture and got to get the video from the Mr. Roboto mock rock, which is conspicuously absent, probably gobbled up by Mod, who also walked away with a trophy.
And he claims he didn't, but he fucking did. Mod, you fucker.
For sure he did.
I know you stole that shit.
And do you remember it was a real quid pro quo, real tit for tat? He was like, all right, you guys got to do something with me, and I'll do something with you. And we hit that at the drive-in one-arm scissor, which was a huge call on Mod's part, by the way.
That was a great song.
That kind of blew my mind. It's like, whoa, Mod's fucking throwing it down right now with some one-arm scissor.
Yeah.
Talking about Omar well before everybody else.
For real.
Cedric was merely a whisper. That shit was great, dude.
But back in the Tool one, I mean, the most infamous part of that was when we were smashing the gear at the end, and one of the drums, the floor tom was a bucket, and I kicked it, and it hit you in the face.
Went to the hospital that night, dude.
It blew up your nose. Your nose exploded, dude.
Bleeding like a stuffed pig, man, all over the place. My dad could not have been more furious.
I'm sure he was quite pissed.
God, not necessarily you, but just the general idiocy. Just like, you fucking knuckleheads.
Well, what I remember was I kicked part of it and it flew like past you, and we were like looking at each other and we were laughing because we were like, holy shit, okay, like what a near miss. And we were like, and then I kicked something else and you were like, oh man, missed me. And then I kicked something else and it was like, bam,
direct hit, dude.
Direct hit to
the crippling pain cannot be fucking described, dude. Because that thing, it was one of the big, 5-gallon or whatever, like bucket with the big hand. And we had the 2x4s as
nailed
the fucking legs.
Yeah,
so the thing weighed roughly 7,000 pounds. Morgan kicks this thing with the fucking ferocity of a young Pele out there, dude. Looking like Messi out there, looking like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Literally painted like Maynard.
Yeah. And I'm down. The stage is elevated, so I'm fucking, eye level with that motherfucker. It's coming at me like a goddamn 100-pound missile in my face, dude. Oh, fuck, that hurt, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. I felt pretty bad about that, but it was also very, very funny.
Yeah, totally well worth it. Comic effect.
We got in a bunch of trouble because it was like the whole thing was like all the rules were like you can't smash you can't smash your instruments, and it was like on the like brand new gymnasium floor and shit.
Fuck that floor up, son. They had
I'm not sure they even did mock rock in middle school anymore. They was like,
we ruined that fun for everybody that time.
Yeah,
it was well worth it.
We threw all that shit in the dumpsters back there.
Had to be done. We were goddamn rock stars. See, that's what we
really
did, bro.
were.
That's what we
really were. Yeah, that was good shit. Yeah, I won a couple of. I also won. You weren't in it, but I won with. We did Weird Al, and we won that year too.
Okay,
I was just like, it was Matt Abel threw it down as Weird Al. Shout out to Matt Abel and Kevin Hag. Homie getting in on that action. It was another one of those things where they needed guys, and they knew I was a Weird Al fan, so I'd played like I was just like guitar, or I did like keyboards or something. But I fucking crushed it, dude.
Amish Paradise was among the hardest I've ever laughed when I heard that song for the first time, because that was when Coolio's tune was blowing up from the Dangerous Minds soundtrack where he did that. But, oh my god, that was funny shit.
Yeah,
Weird Al, brother.
He's the man. So yeah, I won that, and they were also. It was the same story as the fucking girls doing the dance routines. Were fucking pissed because we again didn't do a goddamn thing. But we knew how to fucking rock, and it's fucking rock, right? You didn't need no lessons on how to go out there and rock.
It was up with that showmanship, dude.
Yeah, man.
Natural skill coming out, dude.
It was such a big deal, like though in like my brother's day, like it was like a huge thing.
Yeah.
It was declined by the time we were doing it, which was unfortunate, but
really got in at the tail end of that. The pool was pretty shallow at that point, so the victory is not as impressive as it sounds. But
got
it was
a lot of fucking Tool performance though, and fucking Evans and Sabo and all those dudes did Metallica.
Swanson
and Evans.
That. Okay.
That year, they did fucking Metallica. Yeah, and I think Swanson was fucking doing Hetfield.
It was great material. Though. I think they took. Did they take
Yeah.
second that year?
I think so.
Say maybe. I don't know. It was fucking awesome though. Dude.
Yeah, I don't even remember, dude. That was like there was nothing going on that fucking year. That was bullshit.
Yeah. Right.
Nobody had any fucking idea who Tool was but us. You know.
Yeah.
So huge, dude.
Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on with this?
doing Sweat from Opiate.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like
Some real deep cut
sober
Tool,
or something.
yeah.
Like
The other thing I was thinking about was, do you remember? So it was right after we graduated. We decided to take that trip to Chicago, or possibly it might have just started out as like we're going to go to Indiana and buy fireworks and try and score Everclear and cheap cigarettes somehow.
Yep.
So we're going down there. We go through Indiana, get wildly fucking lost out in bumfuck Indiana. That was a whole excursion in and of itself. Ended up staying in that super seedy motel, if you remember that, where I legitimately assumed we were going to get robbed, murdered, raped, or some combination thereof.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, all three did indeed happen.
The hotel, we roll in, and there's like this kid and his mom like sitting out in front of the thing. Do you remember? And we show up, and the kid's like, "Are you here for the party?" And we're like, no, we're just we're just like trying to get a room, and he was like, "Oh," like I feel like he was like trying to throw a party that
as
night
he was sitting there in a gimp mask and all leather. It was like,
yeah. All right, so keep going.
Anyway, but yeah, so we cruised to Chicago then next morning, right? And we're like, yeah, let's hit up the fucking Sears Tower, like super douchey tourist thing. We're like, let's hit it up. I had never seen it. I don't remember if you guys had it or not, but like, all right, we'll go to some Sears Tower. So we go up there, and if you remember, we were videotaping the whole thing from the original night before. So we got all this shit on camera back in the day.
Camcorder with tapes.
Oh, yeah. Old school camcorder. Get up to the Sears Tower, absurd line of people and everything, that whole deal. It was in the middle of the summer. It must have been, I don't know, call it June, July-ish, somewhere thereabouts. Really hot that day.
We had a case of beer also.
Yep.
Very, very illegally. We weren't even 21. My buddy, I know, I won't say his name, but my buddy bought us, it was bottles of Budweiser or Bud Light, and it was like one of those like cases of bottles. So it was like a 24-pack of bottles or whatever, and it was in the trunk.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Jesus Christ. Yeah. By the way, I love how you're blowing up everybody else with full name on here for all this other much more illegal material. Like, no, but underage beer, we're going to keep that one under wraps.
Must protect the innocent.
So we get up, and, the Sears Tower is on whatever absurdly high floor. The fucking elevator dies on the way up, if you remember, just a couple of floors from the top.
110, something like that, 110 stories or something.
Absurdly hot, way up there, elevated. We got 1 million people crammed in this little dinky elevator, as was the case.
Well, they're huge elevators, actually, but they fit they're like express elevators that go to the observation deck.
Yeah.
And they don't stop on any of the floors and they fit 40 people. They're 20 by 20 or something.
But they pack them in, bro.
Pack them in because you're just supposed to be going right up, and it's only a 3-minute ride or whatever, not even. And it was jammed packed. So keep going.
But so we start getting up there. The elevator dies, right? Which I assume is not a regular occurrence. What with the wild popularity of this attraction and whatnot. And it is hot in there to a degree that is hard to believe, right? And we're T-Bone is me and T-Bone.
Yep.
By the way, T-Bone has made so many cameos in these. Every glorious story ties directly back to Bone. But so we're up there, and it's punishingly hot, man. And people started passing out. There was that one old lady that was 80 plus, man, and she kicked it. And they're trying, they can't get rescue personnel up there or anything because the elevator's straight shot, So it's some horror movie shit going on. But
and there's so the elevators, the tops of the elevators are mirrored.
Yes.
And so you're basically you're crammed in shoulder to shoulder, and the way you can see people is by looking at the ceiling. So you're making eye contact with people on the ceiling. And we were by far the youngest people in there because it was weekday or whatever. And we were what, 19 or something, and
18, baby, just turned 18. This young buck over here.
So it was and it was all these like old people, like tourists, old people. And I remember they started pumping in oxygen. They had fucking like vents or whatever, and they started pumping in like cold oxygen. But this was after like a half hour, and it's getting like rough in there.
Yeah.
And we were trying to like
rough for us, by the way, which we all, we're like
Yeah.
little skinny fucking high school kids. So imagine all, the chubby fuckers in there and all the old people
all of
and
this
stuff.
is on
yeah.
videotape. We're rolling this whole thing, and I don't have this shit, but I wish I did. But and we were trying. I remember specifically trying to like, we were trying to like keep people like calm and like, I don't know. We as we do, making jokes and shit, and just trying to like keep people like.
Really doing our civic duty,
We really
back,
were.
Really doing yeoman's work, man.
And then I remember though when they finally got the elevators to move, or they were moving them manually or whatever, but they didn't tell us, and the elevator dropped like 3 feet, and this one lady who was like. She was in her like 40s, so she wasn't like old, but I remember her specifically. She like broke down because she thought that it was like dropping.
Oh
and
yeah,
we were
this
all
is the end.
Dead. And like I specifically remember her like bending over to like sob or something. Like, man, that was fucking wild. And then
calling her hubby like, I cheated on you last week. This is my last moment. We're going down here. I gotta get this off my chest as the light comes back. No, I'm just kidding.
And then what happened was they lowered us down to the first like floor that you could be on or whatever, and you remember there was like paramedics and everything was waiting.
Yeah.
The news was there.
Yes.
And the news was offering to buy the footage.
Why did we not sell the...
I don't know.
And furthermore, we don't have the footage. It would have probably been a baller move to say, no, this is going to be hilarious material. Got to keep this in the back
I don't think we
pocket,
ever even watched it. It was on those little tapes.
That's got to exist. You got to scour the old man's
house. I know.
House, dude.
Well, I kind of am right now,
somewhere.
so if I find it in there, I definitely. It's fucking wild to think about. And I remember they had like free cookies and orange juice and shit for like your blood sugar or whatever.
Yep.
And they had like paramedics there. And the news was there.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, it was a big enough deal where the fucking news was there.
Oh, it was a legit thing, man. It was like
we were
a
in there probably
situation.
45 minutes or an hour or something. But then they give us a fucking refund, of course. It was a whole thing. You had to go like down and get your refund. And then we were like, yeah, fuck it. We're going back up. We went back up. We got on another elevator and got up there.
You get bucked off that horse, you got to get right back on, son. Christopher Reeve style.
It's fucking wild.
Maybe not so much Christopher Reeve style, but
of the fucking Sears Tower, 110 floors or whatever, and we were only like a floor away from the observation deck or something.
Yeah,
like
this was
like
not
stuck
like immediately into the ride. This was fucking weird. Super close here. Oh,
so
Jesus
fucking
Christ,
weird, man. I remember calling the. It wasn't me, but I remember the person like calling, like the elevator, whatever the fuck, intercom or whatever. I mean, like, yeah, no, we're stuck here. And the guy, it was just some guy. He's like never had to deal with a real problem his whole time.
Some zit-faced teenager just,
I remember
we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
I think it was actually like this.
We've got some of our finest minds on it right now. We're going to get the situation resolved soon.
I remember it being actually like a fucking, like a black dude who was like, yeah, what? Like, he's like, you got it. What's happening? You doing what now? Like, I'm hot as hell right now.
Laying down those dulcet tones. It's like, it's going to be okay. It's all going to be fine.
It's all going to be good.
Man, the recall, by the way, on this, like, my story ended, we went to the elevator and it stalled, so kudos on you not being an alcoholic and actually being able to remember some details.
Yeah, well, that's funny because there were other details, though, about it that I didn't remember, so, but yeah, that was, I remember having the beer, I remember, getting down there and getting all lost and shit, and then being like, well, fuck it, we're only, like, a couple hours from Chicago, and it was, like, dawn. We were like up like all night.
Yeah.
And it was like, we were like, fuck it. We're like right here. Let's just fucking go over
there. What with the punishing bedbug infestation in the masochist hotel party room. Not a tremendous amount of sleep that evening.
We got off in like South Chicago. We got like off the highway and we were driving up the fucking surface roads in like, and it was fucking like We were like, holy shit.
Indeed.
That was also in the Grand Am. That was like right after I got it. Oh, we were talking about my old car, which we won't get into right now. We were talking about that at dinner before. The Grand Am, the Grand
Prime
Span.
ride, the GT with that dual exhaust, baby. That was a glorious car in the grand scheme of high school cars, to be sure. Good shit.
All right. You want to get into some news?
I'm getting a little news of the world here.
The news of the world.
Let's do an awkward pause so we can do the post-pro sound.
Cue the new thing, and now.
The Dangerville Podcast presents News of the World.
All right.
And we're back.
What a tremendous soundbite that was. Really well produced, really well done. Ross, good stuff. All right. So rapper Mystikal, do you remember Mystikal?
I do.
Mystikal once again accused of rape in Louisiana.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh.
So this is the second of his rape charges in Louisiana alone. First degree rape charge in 2017.
Wow.
Yep.
If he's so mystical, why can't he get any pussy without raping, dude?
Yeah, I mean, if you're as big as he in theory was, like, well, I guess this is current day, so, you know, probably nobody banging down the door for some mystical dick right now at this point, but...
Wow.
Served I did not know this, served a 6-year stretch for sexual battery in 2003.
Damn, Mystikal, not fucking around, dude. Yeah.
This is an ongoing pattern of disturbing behavior when coupled with the raping of tens of millions of eardrums back in the day. I mean, it's not great, but yeah, in conclusion, like, Mystikal, please keep both your cock and your music to yourself. Nobody wants either inside of them, for sure.
What was Mystikal's biggest song?
He had that shake your ass, watch yourself.
Oh man. Watch yourself, because I'm gonna rape your ass. Rape your ass.
Literally watch yourself. I'm Mystikal. Like,
seriously, watch yourself.
Have your head on a swivel, man. It's not going
coming through the window.
Indeed. Mystikal, but just a series of terrible songs, all of which sounded exactly the same, by the way. It was all some variation of shake your ass, watch yourself. Not great, dude.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's a huge pull. That's a huge news bit.
Mystikal. There you go. All right, so this other shit was cracking me up. Spain Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, which is his actual name, not me being racist, to be clear.
Pedro Sanchez.
So he made this impassioned plea to the private sector of businesses in Spain to stop wearing neckties, right? This is tremendous for a number of reasons, right? Like, so he didn't really get into specifics. There's apparently a pretty punishing heat wave going on over there. And presumably this was some measure like take the neckties off, cool it down a little bit so we don't have to run air conditioners at 10,000 miles an hour to keep shit cool.
Okay.
So he says, right? But it's also kind of just like, bro, give up the ruse here. Like, clearly you just want to start going cash. Just own it for what it is, man.
His name's Pedro Sanchez. You know, he's trying to go business cash. He wants that fucking collar up over the coat, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to bring back leisure suits. He's up there giving that impassioned plea in a leisure suit with a huge collar.
Right.
Just going, listen, we all need to stop wearing neckties.
Hitting that third button down, just showing
huge
mad
gold
chest hair, dude. Yeah.
All greased up.
Really
you know,
flashing
Spanish.
those upper pecs, just getting after it, dude. My other working theory is that, you know, he got into some shit with his wife that morning. Like, he left the toilet seat up and just got into a big argument, forgot to throw that shit on, but just come clean, man, you know?
Yeah, indeed. I agree, though. Like, we still doing this? Like, it's actually, like, I mean, like, at my job, not like but, like, people still doing, like, the whole suit and tie thing? I mean, I imagine, like, in, like, some high-end offices, they're doing that shit, but, like, it seems to be that, like, most people are just wearing, like, nothing.
Even with the bigger corporate, and we won't get into the specifics of mine. Like, I work at a pretty big corporation now. Occasionally you see that stuff, but mostly it's people on video, you know, kind of, like, presenting to shareholders, all that kind of stuff. They'll get after it. But for the most part, the last gig I was in, I worked, before this, I worked at a big digital marketing agency, like one of the biggest ones in the world. And it was just a fucking free-for-all, man. I'd be showing up in Tool shirts and shit. Like, I had hair down past my shoulders, unshaven, unkept, just rolling in there with Birkenstocks and stuff. So I think most of that shit's by the wayside now.
Well, you work in a high-end call girl outfit now, right?
Yeah, yep. Kind of, you know, like a pseudo-pimp operation or, you know, purveyor of purveyor of sex workers or whatever.
Well, you pay for the time. The sex that's up to them.
Well, you actually pay for them to go away at the end of the session. Is what the money's really going towards.
You don't pay a hooker for sex. You pay for
him to
go
leave.
away.
Right? All right, here. So this one, you got to bear with me, all right? This one's a little bit long. I promise the juice is going to be worth the squeeze, all right? You strapped in, you buckle in.
I do want to also say that he's reading these off of a white piece of paper, not even a lined piece. It's like a piece of printer paper scrawled out with hieroglyphics and shit on here.
So I've got the yellow legal pads. I busted one out, and it was entirely filled with notes from that I written down from various poker books back in the day. I am a big poker player, and went through a whole thing where I'm studying. And I read mad poker books. I'm just going, all right, if you got this hand, this is the route to go. So that fucker was spent. But in any event, going real old school, going analog, baby, keeping it real, my friends. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. All right, you got your drink. You're all good over here. You settled in for a minute. Okay.
Let's hear it.
All right. So there's a woman and a son and a full family. They live in North Dakota back in the day, okay? Son moves away to New York to pursue a job, I think in finance or something. It's of no consequence. He's out there for 4 years, working his ass off. Mom's back in North Dakota, so don't get to see each other very often. So they kind of check in on the phone, do all that sort of shit. You know, hey, how's it going, that sort of thing. So the son calls up one day talking about a girlfriend he's got, and that's a continuing conversation when they try to touch base and that sort of thing. One day he calls back, tells mom, like, great news, this is the love of my life, we're going to get married. Super happy, everybody's awesome, we're going to get married, this is a joyous occasion. Okay?
Can I take a guess?
Go ahead, man. You have no fucking idea where this is going, but I'm thrilled to hear the guess, my friend.
All right, well, my guess is that it's his sister.
Did you read the story?
No, but...
Oh, man, really spoiled the whole goddamn thing. Well played, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, so the rest of this is of very little consequence. I'm going to go ahead and pretend like that didn't happen. We can just go ahead and edit that out, dude.
Boom!
All right, but regardless, the story is fucking glorious. So the mom sees the fiance for the first time at the wedding, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, at the wedding.
At the wedding. They had not met before. Like, he was... I don't remember exactly the job, but it was like one of those like 60-hour weeks, never see, so they hadn't seen each other for 4 years, had never met. So I can't fucking believe you guessed that, by the way. I'm equally impressed and disappointed by the gloriousness of the Boss D throwing down those predictions. Okay. So the mom goes up to her, notices a birthmark on the hand, okay? So she goes into a mini panic, pulls this chick's parents aside, and quietly starts to ask, hey, is she adopted by chance? The parents are like, yup. The daughter and the groom are right there, by the way, and she went just far enough off to the side where she thought she was going to be safe. She was not. So the daughter is overhearing this for the first time, not having known she was adopted. So she's learning all of the shit in the moment, like, oh, I was adopted.
Oh my God.
Fails to how you fail to tell your adopted daughter at, presumably mid-20s age or whatever, beyond me, but I digress.
Yep.
Okay. So she proceeds to tell the parents the story of how she lost her daughter in Alabama 20 years ago, never found her, I guess, and just decided to go back home and say, fuck it. What's lost is lost. I'm going to keep cruising here. This story's so fucked up. I don't even know if this shit's real, man, but we're going to keep going regardless. So they're going down this whole rabbit hole. The son is apparently fucking his long-lost sister without knowing it.
Yeah.
But, so in later news, the son also was adopted to, quote, fill the hole in her heart from losing her daughter back in the day. So they weren't actually related by birth, which is a bonus. Okay, this is a good thing. But this all begs the question, what kind of fucked up adoption screening process is going on where it's just I lost.
I lost one. Can I just get another?
Yeah, this is like golf. You hit one into the rough. It's lost that one. Found a shag ball. One in, one out.
Can I get a mulligan?
Yeah. Indeed. So it's a net win. It's a one out or one in, one out situation at the end of the day. But Yeah, I can't fucking believe that. And like, how does the adoption agency, like, what is the whole backstory on this?
Yeah.
It's like, I lost my daughter. I got to get a backfill.
There's
This has got to
be
be done.
more to that about what happened if she lost her daughter or what happened there. There's got to be more to that, I would imagine.
Lost in air quotes is feeling much more like some kind of pseudo Casey Anthony situation. Like maybe she snuck away for a minute and it seemed like a good out clause, like a viable out clause at the time.
So here's my big question is do they stay together? All right. Because they're not actually brother and sister. Even if they were, do they stay together or not? And I think that's all going to come down to how hot she is.
Without question. You've got your sliding scale here. You've got your little pie chart going on of there's a cost benefit analysis. You got to get that break even point of hotness to be sure. But super fucked up, right?
That's wild. It's so what it reminds me of, and I think part of the reason why I guessed it is it reminds me of the movie
Shazam. God damn
what?
it.
No.
No, I've never seen Shazam, by the way. I was totally pulling that out.
It would never be Shazam.
Continue. It's Pulp Fiction, right? Pulp Fiction.
The Keanu Reeves movie where he's the lawyer in New York or whatever. It's kind of similar to that. Devil's Advocate. Devil's Advocate. Yeah.
Devil's Advocate, while a choice movie, I don't think had a fucking goddamn thing to do with this guy.
No, yes, it does, because he's like he's the son of the devil, and Al Pacino's trying to hook him up with his daughter. Yeah, it's like his sister.
You gotta fuck my daughter.
And they're actually
sister.
brother and sister. Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, well played. All right. Yep.
And
been a hot minute since I've seen that flick. Solid flick, by
it's
the way.
also similar to the plot. I'm into these books by this guy named Joe Abercrombie. They're some of my favorite books. They're a fictional thing.
Of him and Fitch fame.
Game of Thrones-esque fantasy books. And one of the big plot points is, a sister and brother that don't know their sister and brother until after they're fucking and get married. So
the sexual chemistry, though, it's got to be outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like, wow, we look great together.
It's so natural. It's like we've known each other our whole lives or something.
That's a fucking crazy motherfucking story, though. And like at the wedding, like if they'd have found out like before the wedding, my friend at work again is the same girl, my friend Christy. Shout out to Christy. Her two cousins. This shit just happened to her. Like she said that she saw on Facebook her two cousins or some shit like this were like posted a thing like we're dating or something, and she was like, ha, good one. And then it was like, no, but like for real.
Oh, that's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable.
Yep.
Got to hit the quick delete edit button on like that Facebook post for sure.
Apparently they're very happy. So yeah, whatever. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that shit's out of control. All right, we had a couple more here. So an Australian passenger was recently fined nearly $2,000 for smuggling undeclared McDonald's Egg McMuffins onto a flight, bro.
This man is a hero.
Indeed.
He is a hero. He should be paid $2,000.
Yeah.
The people of Australia. Where was he taking them? He's taking them into the outback.
Oh, we're bringing back some sandwiches for the fucking wankers over here. I think I was all British, by the way. I don't know, same goddamn thing. Close enough.
What was he doing with them? He was smuggling them to where?
Well, they didn't get into specifics, but I assume he was planning to eat them. This is my semi-educated guess, Bosty. But I guess we'll never know, my friend. I guess we'll never know.
He was clearly trying to resell them or something. How fat was this man?
Didn't get into specifics. Key question there. Would love to know that information. In fairness, Australia is well-known BK territory. They are about the king out there and very little else.
Yeah, there you go. So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
Indeed.
When
you're factoring in the the lap band surgery and the heart replacement, it was nearly a $50,000 event to get these sandwiches back there.
Wow, you gotta love Australia.
Classic stuff.
That's great.
All right, we got one more here. This isn't terribly earth-shattering, but it was too good to pass up. So, Yin-Yang Twins. You remember the Yin-Yang Twins?
Yeah.
869. It stinks, something. Insert terrible material here.
Yeah, vaguely.
So, one of the Yin-Yang Twins, not both twins, to be clear. It was but one twin.
Are they fraternal twins or identical twins?
One of the identical Yin-Yang Twins passed out during a performance where they were opening for Vanilla Ice, which is incredible for any number of reasons, presumably just overwhelmed by the realization that both they and Vanilla Ice were able to pull a crowd big enough to warrant holding a concert.
Yeah,
So-
I'd go to that show.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yin-Yang Twins, actually, true story, were at fucking Bell's Beer in Kalamazoo a few
All
years
right.
back. Some homies were going to that.
Yeah.
I should have went. I muffed it.
I'd go see
Second
that
only
show.
to my regret of not seeing Metallica back in the day was not catching the Yin-Yang Twins live at Bell's Brewery.
Wow, I don't know how that those are really on the same level.
Indeed, yeah. Yin-Yang Twins clearly superior. That's the show to see. So that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Indeed. Gotta have the Yin-Yang Twins. What was their song? I don't remember what they really did.
It was this. They had like one. It was like 869. That's all. Literally all I remember.
I don't know that.
Nobody cares. Nobody cared then. Nobody cares.
Yin
now.
Yang Twins.
Too good to
man.
pass up though, my friend.
What were those little fucking? What were the kids? Kriss Kross, dude. Do you remember Kriss Kross?
Big
dude?
Kriss Kross
Yeah.
fan. Had a Kriss Kross cassette tape back in the day.
I remember. Yeah, we used to fucking put our clothes on backwards and shit.
Oh, yeah, good shit, dude.
Kriss Kross will
Talking
make you
about
jump.
jumping around. Talking about All Right, guest starring some Jamaican dude.
You know, I heard
other
that shit
Kriss Kross song.
on. Oh, and I was a couple years ago. I was a fucking balls deep into gangster rap again, and it came on, and I was like, "This is actually pretty decent."
Oh, yeah, Kriss Kross got it.
Like the beats and shit were like, "It's not too bad."
Kriss Kross put out a new album like within
Nice.
the last year or so, which has
For real?
got to be listened to. Yeah, dude. Got to have some new Kriss Kross at some point in the near future here.
Let me see if I can pull it up. God damn it, Jamie! Come on.
Jamie's really slacking. What the fuck are we paying this guy for anyway?
I don't know how they spell it.
With K's.
Oh yeah, soak it in.
Oh, it's so glorious, dude. Look at that album cover. Oh my god. It was a huge tune back in the day. Legit huge tune.
Totally crossed out.
Totally crossed out, my friend. That's where it's at.
I'm not seeing anything recent.
Young and Dangerous. Yeah, the world is unamused by the new one. Not even making YouTube, Google
Soak
hits.
them in.
Her.
Here's them in 2022. They look good.
Looking dapper, dude.
Yeah.
Looking dapper. Rocking that striped
Nice.
turtleneck. That's a good look.
Yeah, he looks dope.
Little 3-piece suit minus the overcoat. That's a good look, dude. Good looking crew right there.
Wait a minute. Kriss Kross dead at 34.
Whoa! Where am I getting my story on the new material from then? Whoa!
This is like 2013. Kriss Kross rapper Chris Kelly dead at 34 from a drug overdose.
So what the all right, we're going to go ahead and just edit out all that material. I did indeed see some kind of Kriss Kross material. Apparently it was from
I ain't
2013.
editing out a goddamn thing.
The world is still stunned and shocked by the loss of Kriss Kross.
The world of
dude.
the Dangerville Podcast is currently stunned by the shocking news of the death of Kriss Kross rapper Chris Kelly.
Indeed.
R.I.P. bro.
Making
That sucks.
news 9 years later, man.
Yeah, he was looking
People are
good too. What the fuck?
devastated. Damn, that's unfortunate. Dude.
Yeah, could never quite fuck. That's
What
the thing about
up?
child stars and shit, man. Is like you're always like you like peak when you're 7.
I can't like
Fuck.
the level of fame that we have reached recently at the tender age of 32 based on this podcast, my friend, is already enough for me to deal with. But having been at that level at such a young age, I can't imagine how you cope with that kind of
32?
stardom. Did I say 32? 38? Oh, man.
If only.
We're going to have to get post-pro on this shit for sure, dude.
All right, you got any more, or are we done with the news?
That's it. We're done with the news.
All right, that has been key sound effect. And this concludes
That's fucking gold. Also, I'm gonna motion that we don't play the sound effect and just leave it as is, dude. All right. Granted, it was a tremendous sound effect. Let's just leave that.
I'm playing it at the beginning, though. I'm definitely using it. It's hilarious.
Indeed.
Shave's got to put his blue chew in. He's got the. Do you know what blue chews are?
Oh yeah, dude. Schultz is always did those Schultz spots about the blue chew.
Blue chews.
Get you fucking bricked up, son. Fucking slapping those cheeks, clapping that ass.
It's what your girl wants, son. She wants that rock hard dick every week. Now she wants it every night. You got those blue chews.
Get you that summer dick going in the winter. Did you see that Whitney Cummings one where he's going off at
summer tits or whatever? Yeah. Okay. We're always rolling, bro. Yeah, he got summer tits. Well, what I was thinking, do you know what summer teeth are?
Oh yeah, summer teeth going this way, summer teeth going that way.
That's what I thought he was going to say about her tits. Is some of your tits
yeah, as did I.
Tits going that way.
I thought he was really going hard at her. Just got
All right, we got a new segment. What do you got?
You know, Ross, there are just a few things that I feel like I kind of want to get off my chest. It seems like a good format to do. So just some stuff that's kind of been eating away at me over the years, you know, and just the kind of things just to get out there. You know, my therapist said it'd be helpful to get this stuff out in the open. Right? Don't keep it bottled up. Right? Okay. This is where society's going. So just a couple of things. So we should probably work on a cool name, but for now, let's just call it Confessions. That sound about right?
Confessions.
All right. This also would have been way funnier had you not fucking blown the wad on this 10 seconds into the podcast.
Totally did my confession first thing without even thinking about it or knowing about it.
Now it's contrived, forced. But you know what? Well, it's all good. It's all good. Confessions. Also, blatant ripoff of fucking Secrets back in the day.
Shout out to Conan.
In fairness, that was some old school, if I remember correctly, NBC Conan. All that material's debunked, right? So
yeah.
Conan, Andy, it's no longer yours to hold on to, gentlemen. Confessions. All right. I once violently shit myself during a high school wrestling match. And I need, and to a lesser degree, want to underscore the importance of violently. Okay, like before I get into this is not like an oops, I sharted like cute situation. I fucking violently shit my pants, right? Yeah. So any individual sport, and like we had teams and everything, I won't get down the whole wrestling rabbit hole, you know, unless we got a whole bunch of wrestling aficionados out there. Just keeps up the other story about the so, you know, it's a fucked up thing because when you're wrestling, it's fucking you out there on the mat, right? Like it's you out there in front of everyone in the audience. It couldn't be more mano a mano. You're in this little tiny singlet. It's fucking war. It's the closest equivalent to just like trying to beat the shit out of another dude in a legal and humane way, right? So nerves are high. It's a whole thing. I'm going up against this cat that was kind of my rival back in the day. He went to Reese Puffer. Won't get into names of no consequence, but
his name was Bob.
His name was Alex Gonzalez. Not that Alex Gonzalez, different Alex Gonzalez.
The kid that came over from...
No, that was Alien Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Little Alien. Just steady ripping this Conan material. Let's just repurpose all that old Conan NBC material.
They're not doing
now
it
like
anymore.
Blacklisted.
It's ours now, Conan.
That shit's free game. Little Alien. But getting out there, and nerves were always a fucking bundle before any match, right? Because it's a whole thing. Like, you go out there and you get the shit kicked out of yourself, as I often did, because I was without skill and not any fucking good at wrestling, to be totally clear. But like this cat back in the day, we were rivals, wrestle each other all the time, so it's kind of a big thing. Used to dominate him. He got really good all of a sudden and was like a legit guy. But in my head, I'm like, okay, I know his style. He knows mine. Used to kick the fuck out of him. Maybe it'll be like a big brother situation where some mental shit kicks in and I can get after it. So we go through the entire match, to be clear, and I had no fucking idea. I get done after this match, walk into the bathroom just to take a piss or whatever, and as the adrenaline's wearing off and like my senses start to come back and I'm coming to, I realize what's going on, and I'm like, hey, what in God's name is that smell? Like somebody cut one when I was walking by. You know, I thought it was some fat parent or something. So I go in there and all singleted up, right? You got the awkward spandex fucking one-piece onesie singlet looking like a male
So wait,
gymnast.
you had shit your pants and you didn't know?
Bro, during the match, and no idea. Because when you're in the thick of it, like, you know, not to be corny and that guy, but it's all adrenaline. It's all fucking, like, you're in the moment. You're not thinking, feeling anything. It's war at that point, you know? Like, it's a whole thing. Wrestlers out there, all two of you listening to the podcast, like, you know what's up, but it's its own deal.
There's nobody listening.
Yeah, no. That was all for setup. Thanks once again for ruining that. Just breaking my goddamn balls. Breaking the fourth wall. I go in there, pull the singlet down to take a piss, and I'm just like, oh man, I gotta load like a fucking 6-year-old child that gobbled down 6 things of Gerber spinach
so
baby
you were wrestling
food, bro.
this dude, and there was shit in your singlet while you were wrestling.
Unbeknownst to me the entire time, if you know wrestling positions,
Yeah,
you know,
dude,
when you
it's
start new
fucking-
periods, you can go up, down, or neutral. Very rarely people go neutral back in the day. So this guy is like mounting me from the back as I've got a shit-filled load of feces in my singlet. And kudos to him for being a trooper and probably being in the same mindset, not realizing this stuff one bit when it was going on. But yeah, this poor motherfucker had to sit back there and deal with what was assumed a god-awful stench the entire time. But yeah, nobody ever called me out on it, so I think I got away scot-free until right now, which also, by the way, is scot-free because nobody's listening to the podcast, so my secret remains clear.
Confession.
Yeah, confessions. True story. It was super unfortunate. All right.
That's fucked up. All right, so here's my confession for the week. All right, this is another one when I was a little kid. I wish I would have wrote down the Minnie Mouse thing, but whatever. So when I was like, probably, I couldn't have been, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something like that. This shit haunts me to this day. It's not that great, but I was in like Sears or something at the time.
Okay.
And I was walking
Sears
through
Roebuck. Shout out
Sears Roebuck. So I was like waving to all the mannequins and shit. And I was like a little kid, and I was like, "Hey," I kept like waving to all the mannequins and shit, right?
Probably indicative of a bigger problem, but continue.
And then I walk by, and there's a guy, just some dude like shopping, and I thought he was a mannequin, and he was kind of like hunched over, looking at and so I was walking through, and I was saying like, "Hi." To all the mannequins, and this guy is kind of like looking at his shirt or something, and I'm behind him, and I go, "Hi." And I smack his ass.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like I thought he was not real for some reason. And so I and I remember him like looking up at me like, "Whoa!" Like this guy, like he was like, "What?" And I remember like my mom was just fucking mortified, and I remember like running up the aisle, like I ran away, like it was like,
oh my god. Cheese it.
I don't know where I thought I was going, but like I was so
getting
fucking
the fuck out of
embarrassed.
Dodge, bro. It doesn't matter where you're going to get the fuck away from that situation.
And
for sure.
I kind of always thought like I wonder if that guy tells the same story. like I was in Sears, I was trying to buy a fucking flannel shirt.
This creepy little kid, this creepy little ginger with these Buddy Holly looking glasses runs up to me, fucking claps my ass from behind, and then cheeses it out of Dodge, man. That's goddamn funny, my friend.
Confessions. So that's my confession.
All right. So something else. I used to kind of like the band Disturbed.
Well, let's just stop it right there.
I don't have a joke.
Confessions.
I don't. Oh, you just ruined it again. Stepping on my toes like a motherfucker, bro. I got no joke. I got nothing. That's it. I just used to like the band Disturbed. I had to get it off my chest, man. That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, no, that's a tough thing to come to terms with. And that's many
It's wildly
years
embarrassing. And this is from like, you know, both of us. I don't want to speak for you, but for me, certainly like super douchey music snob. You know, that's kind of been one of the things I've hung my hat on over the years is incredible taste in music. And it's like, God damn it, I shouldn't like these fucking motherfuckers, but I love it.
Yeah, I got like I always, dude, I hated Disturbed. I hated them.
It's terrible.
And but now I actually got way more respect for them. It's not as bad as I thought it was. It's well produced. I'll give them that. They could play. They can sing. It's fucking great shit. It was just that time they were just like, I hate Godsmack, dude. That was like,
Christ,
Jesus
man.
Christ. And I always lump them two together, but Disturbed, I got a lot more respect. There's a lot more bands now that the ones that are still around, I seem to have like respect for, because now I'm looking at it like, all right, you know, you guys were doing your thing at the time, and you guys are actually kind of crushing now. Like Disturbed's actually pretty fucking sweet now.
Ability to stay in the game is not to be discredited, right? Like even if you stink, regardless, like if like even Nickelback, honestly, like for as god awful as they are, like they've been in the game for a hot minute. They're doing their thing, and they're doing what they love, and they're making money, and it's awesome.
Those
and they're
guys
self-deprecating, by the way, right? Like I don't know if you remember the whole thing. So when the Super Bowl was in Detroit a handful of years back, Ford Field, Nickelback was up on the docket. And there was this whole petition that got started to not let Nickelback play Super Bowl, because at that point, like, people had realized, oh, Nickelback's a fucking joke, and that was kind of a thing. But Nickelback just owned it and played into it. They were just like, yeah, we stink.
Yep.
We signed this document. Everybody else should too. This is well played. We probably have no business playing the Super Bowl. So Chad Kroeger and crew, like, shout out. That's well done, man. There's something to be said for longevity in the game, regardless of good or bad. And so,
well, Nickelback and Disturbed, I'll make a comparison in that both those bands, if you don't like their songs or whatever, but they are both like really good players. Like they know what they're doing. Like they know how to play. They can play their shit. They can sing their shit. Like they're legitimate. Where like, you know, some other bands where it's just like a producer put it together or something. Like those guys, like Nickelback, like, if you see Nickelback, I saw them live on like Leno or something one time. Yeah. And it's like, these guys definitely know what they're doing. Like they can fucking play their shit.
And you get so many bonus points for that in my book. Like there's nothing I hate more, and I understand it is what it is, right? And like everybody's got their spot in music, and some people are good at some things, some people are good at all things to a lesser extent. But if you're writing your own stuff, like even Taylor Swift, man, like Taylor Swift stinks, not my jam personally, but she writes her own shit, and there's something to be said for that, right? Like that's cool that she's doing her own thing. She writes her own material.
Does she though? She writes her own lyrics probably, but I don't think she's not like making those songs and shit.
Well, I assume not all of it, but even lyrics, right? Like it's not like a Linkin Park situation where it's like, hey, we've got this guy and we've got this guy and this other dude, and we're going to assemble them all and write everything for them and take care of half the fucking legwork for them. So
was Linkin Park like that?
Oh, I'm pretty certain of it. Yeah, that was kind of the whole thing. Was like it was this big assembled band.
Yeah, that
like
I know is true.
Based purely on like we assume these guys are going to be popular together. I don't think they played together. I think they were assembled by people. I think all their shit was written.
Yeah,
should probably get Jamie to fact check this at some point. But
I gotta
pretty
say,
sure
I don't know a
case.
lot about Linkin Park. I know that they were definitely assembled by a record company or whatever. But I'd assume they kind of at least wrote most of their own shit, but maybe not.
I don't think that's the case one bit. And if so, that's what
so
would
hard
like
90%. And in the end, didn't even matter.
Which also begs the question: if they were paying people to write their material, they couldn't get anybody to do any better than that. Like we tried so hard, got so far, it stinks.
They made a lot of money though. Same thing.
Lead singer Linkin Park, Cornelled himself, right?
Yeah, he killed himself.
That's unfortunate.
And weirdly, they were actually good friends, Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington.
Yeah, I remember reading that after Cornell did his thing. There's a whole bunch of backstory on all that, which seems like an unlikely marriage in that case. You know, between those two.
I could see how those two could be friends or whatever. I mean, but what I was saying is I was balls deep into the conspiracy about it, dude. I was saying that because those guys were like, they were both doing this like anti like child molester shit. They were like donating a bunch of money to all these things and shit. I kind of think they got fucking Epstein, dude. There's a whole thing about it. Like you can like go into these fucking dark worlds about that shit. Yep. And I was kind of feeling that shit. And then the other flip side of it is Susan and I always say was they were just both doing the stroke and choke, dude. They just and all this drug overdose and blah 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 and this and that. It's all just fucking covering up the fact that they were choking themselves out with a rope while they were fucking jerking the gherkin.
It was Cornell strung up in his hotel room, cock in hand.
Yep. Well, we always joke
with Black Hole Sun playing in the background.
Every time we're in Detroit. Well, first of all, I could have went to that show, and I deeply regret now not going. I had a buddy who had an extra ticket, but it was on like a Thursday night or something. So I was like, eh.
So fact check me on this real quick. But sorry to cut you off before we continue. I'm pretty sure. Did they play with 9 Inch Nails that show?
That was early. That was about 5 years before.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was at that show. That I was at.
That was also,
at DTE.
Speaking of concert regrets, I talked about Metallica earlier. I remember you and Susan had an extra ticket for that, and we're like, hey, do you want to come? But it's like, I assume you got it through a buddy or something, and it's like, hey, it's off away from us, and I was like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to be some weird guy sitting off by myself, which is a super bummer, dude.
It's funny, that was actually the same guy that had the other ticket to this later show. He's over there, and he had the extra ticket.
Which begs the question, what is he prioritizing over Soundgarden and 9 Inch Nail concerts?
He goes, it was some other pal of his was bailing out, so he had an extra ticket. Some guy,
some super unchoiced friend. Like, what are you doing that's more important than Soundgarden and 9 Inch Nails? Which granted,
that show was fucking clutch.
Yeah,
dude,
I've heard nothing
huge,
but
huge
like I've always heard 9 Inch Nails. Tool, which we've seen 1,000 times and can speak for that firsthand. But 9 Inch Nails is kind of like the token. Like, this is the live show to all the
9 Inch Nails,
fucking,
I think probably like 4 times, something like that. And it's
what it's cracked up to be.
You want to talk like top tier production. Like it's the top tier production.
It took me I think I've told you this before. It took me a real long time to get into 9 Inch Nails because I was the fucking, was it BMG or whatever, like insert terrible music CD ordering thing here where you pay 99 cents and get all that. So they didn't have the good 9 Inch Nails. It was some kind of further down the spiral was the option.
Further down the spiral, which was the remix.
Yeah, and that was my introduction. Like, not that I hadn't heard 9 Inch Nails, but that was my first introduction to a full 9 Inch Nails album. And I'm like, oh, this is unspeakably terrible.
That's not where you want to start.
I'm all set on it. And then like stumbled upon it years later, possibly by Susan singing their praises.
Yeah.
Started getting into like, oh, 9 Inch Nails is fucking choice, dude. And then I got real far down the rabbit hole for a few years and was just listening nothing but that, dude.
Yeah.
What was the one with like the weird mouse, the red and black cover that sounded like, it always reminded me of like something you would hear in like a high-end cocktail bar, and or like what Neo would have been listening to when he went to the club with the white rabbit chick and that other dude.
Well, there was the Fragile. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it was I don't know. This segment's gonna die on the vine if I keep going down this rabbit hole. But it was like super dancey kind of. Yeah. It was I don't know. Call it 2008. It's of no consequence. This is going nowhere. I'm gonna shut up. Know when to say when, right?
So, what the joke has always been though, every time we go to Detroit, we always think about staying at the MGM Grand, and we're always going to go in and request the Cornell suite, the suite where he killed himself.
Oh man, that's intense.
Yep.
That's it's got to be a highly coveted suite for sure.
Can we get the Cornell suite? Too soon?
If and when this podcast doesn't go well, I'm going to request that suite and just do the same.
It's right there, man. It's fucking wild to think about, dude. Like, yeah.
It's fucked up to think about them still renting it out, which obviously they're not going to bail on the room and condemn it or anything, but with the profitability and whatnot. Yeah. Pretty fucked up to think about.
Sure, they don't even tell you, like.
Give me the Cornell.
Yeah. Can I have the Cornell suite? We'll take the Cornell suite, please.
All right, can I get an analog confession soundbite? By the way, you got to get some of that crucial soundbite work going for the confessions audio. Top priority. Confessions. All right. I once faked a male orgasm during sex.
That's not possible.
You wouldn't think so. I gave it the old college try nonetheless.
Oh.
I'm not saying it was convincing, but, in fairness at the time, I was all rubbered up, thought I could maybe get away with it. I was pretty shit-faced. I was going to town for quite some time, or at least what felt like quite some time.
Roughly 4 to 5 minutes.
Indeed. I was apathetic and bored at that point, so, it was what it was.
Should have had that blue chew, son. Pound away for hours at a time.
Bury that nut, son. It's all about stealing Blue Chew as a sponsor. We got to out Schultz on this podcast for her top priority.
They do. He does that shit on fucking not fucking shoals, but Jesus Christ! No, I'm fucking losing it. Sorry, I'm very high. Yeah, this has got to get cut out. The fuck is the guy's name?
That's why we needed Jamie, my friend. I'm telling you, some zit-faced kid to sit at the computer and fucking TikTok stuff for us and whatnot.
Leslie Nielsen. All right, that's what I'm trying to come up with here. All right?
Leslie Nielsen was the
Christ,
full. Oh my god!
All right, Leslie Nielsen, the Naked Gun. That's
fan,
what I've been trying to fucking come up with. That guy's name. I can picture him. Leslie Nielsen has jokes about that shit. When they break up, he goes, "By the way, I was faking it." That's all I was trying to get out.
Man.
We're like,
Naked Gun, dude. OJ for days in Naked Gun, by the way. Pre-murder
It's
OJ,
so
dude.
funny,
Old
dude.
school national hero OJ.
and one more thing, I was faking it.
Do not sleep on the hilarity of all Naked Guns, dude.
It's so
Naked
good, man.
Gun 1 through 37.9.
He
dude.
walks
All
her up the
gold.
fucking the library and he goes, "Nice beaver." "Thanks, I just had it stuffed." She hands down that fucking taxidermy beaver. "Nice beaver."
It's so goddamn good, man. All the Naked Gun movies, the Hot Shots Part 1 and 2 with Charlie Sheen, dude, all
Yeah.
that same type of shameless fucking one-liner material.
That all came from Airplane.
with hilarious consequences.
For real.
Yeah, dude.
For real.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the pilot in Airplane.
Yeah, man.
The grumpiest motherfucker, which that was a whole thing. I was watching HBO's got this show called Showtime, which is like basically about the start of the Lakers becoming super popular. No, you're not a
Yep.
big sports guy, but
No, I know that
Dr.
show.
Jerry Buss, like a legendary character, this like philanderer, drunk, just like big party guy. Doctor of what? I have no
I thought
idea.
the HBO show Showtime was about the network Showtime, their main rival. And the show was just shitting on Showtime about how they got nothing.
No, Showtime. Okay, so that's one of the handful of apps / channels I can't even say channels
HBO?
anymore, right? That's like a
Yeah.
distinct.
No, it looked fucking badass, dude. It was the guys who made it made a bunch of killer shit too. I can't remember, but it's like fucking sweet looking.
Adam McKay, who
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the
Everything great.
the finance, yeah. Also, like everything that's witty, dramedy type stuff. He did
Cheney.
the big.
He did Cheney.
He did Cheney. He did the movie, or one of several movies about the financial crisis with Christian Bale, which the name's escaping me, but
He did the one with the asteroid, one of his more recent ones, where they're the asteroid's coming or whatever. And it's,
with DiCaprio.
Yeah.
That was a sweet flick,
Yeah,
by
it
the
was
way.
a
I
great
really
movie.
like that. A couple people were shitting. I thought it was fucking killer.
I thought it
dude.
was great,
Really
yeah.
loved it. DiCaprio's one of those guys where, okay, I realize I'm going to be on an island with this. I'm starting to admittedly do a little bit of a double take, but DiCaprio is the guy where, like, every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, God damn, DiCaprio stinks, but this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. And I think I finally pinpointed it to, like, DiCaprio looking like a 12-year-old. So every time he's trying to be a badass or something, it's like, dude, I could kick the fuck out of this guy. So it seems wildly unconvincing, and probably in fairness, he's like the greatest actor ever, considering, again, every movie I'm like, oh, what a fantastic movie. But him,
Yeah.
kind of stinks. But
I love him in that fucking Tarantino movie that they just fucking did, dude. He's amazing in that.
Yeah, the remake of the whole Manson shit back in the
But
day.
you're right though. Honestly, like, I mean, even fucking when you hear Tarantino talk about it, he's like, yeah, I was just going for like couple like these two guys could work together, or these two guys could work. It didn't have to be these guys or these guys or these guys.
Yep.
I kind of agree with you. I feel sometimes like Leonardo DiCaprio, as great as he is, and he obviously has amazing choices in movies, is that like he never really like goes off and plays something that's like totally different from himself. He's just kind of like always.
It feels
there's
like
a lot
an
of leading
overacted
men.
version of himself or something.
That's
almost.
what like the whole leading man thing is. Where I gotta say, where Brad Pitt, on the other hand, will do like character acting, where he's like doing something like totally different. That's
Yeah.
like you're not just being you.
Brad
you know?
Pitt, top 3 favorite actor for me. I
he's a great
cannot
actor.
wash Brad Pitt's balls
Yeah.
hard enough.
Yeah.
I love everything Pitt's ever done, Inglourious Bastards, Fight Club, everything from head to toe. Fucking tremendous, dude.
I like his shit in like in 12 Monkeys. Like that's what I'm talking about. Where he's like, he's not the main guy. It's like a fucking bit part.
Yeah, dude. Brad Pitt in the cameo
Yeah.
in the first Tarantino flick. What was the had James Gandolfini, had the chick with the big teeth in it, romance, something romance.
Oh, yeah. True Romance.
True Romance, yeah.
He's in that?
Yeah, super bit parties, the stoner on the couch.
Okay.
Kind of in the middle end of the movie before all the real death starts happening. It's just
Right.
like, and that's what was so choice, because not that he was uber established, but he was established enough where it was super funny to see Brad Pitt in a 5-minute cameo.
He's
and
in
Pitt doesn't
some,
give a fuck, bro.
He
he's
I
just
know.
like,
He just
I'm all
wants to
about
do
it.
like what's cool.
It's like, this will be choice. This will be hilarious. Let me hit this up for a hot minute for sure.
He did some movie where he's like some kind of like he's like a drug addict type dude, and he's like in the back of a car like on a road trip. You remember that
The
movie?
Mexican, maybe?
Something like that.
With
I don't know.
Penelope Cruz, I want to say. One of those, maybe. In any event, good shit. Brad Pitt, good. DiCaprio stinks. But also, even when DiCaprio's like, this is why I don't even know how I feel this way, because even when he's the leading man, I'm like, oh, it rules, but he's terrible in it, which can't be the case. Like, that's like a stark contradiction. That, like Hoover, him
sheer star
playing,
power.
fucking Hoover back in the day or whatever, like J. Edgar.
Apparently, Brad Pitt was married to Angelina Jolie, obviously, and apparently The Weeknd is fucking Angelina Jolie now.
Really?
Bringing it back to The Weeknd.
Bringing it back to The Weeknd. So after your whole rant on The Weeknd,
By the way, before you continue, I just gotta say, dude, I was dick riding so fucking hard, man. I was like, I gotta shut the fuck up about The Weeknd, and I also went off about too many other things. But goddamn, was I fucking riding that Weeknd caca right there, dude? Jesus.
The Weeknd, he's so talented, so good, so dark. Album of the year, greatest artist of our generation.
I stand by it.
And that's where I'm going. In retrospect, not a bad call, dude. And I had some Weeknd hate, which initially I was thinking was me being a douchebag, but I was thinking back to the like his I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You song, and I was like, this song stinks. I'm not all about it.
It's a great song.
I gave up on it. Wasn't digging it, but then I booted up that new Weeknd album, dude, after your whole rant, and I'm like, all right, because we have pretty similar tastes in music. Yeah. Like one or two, like Tomahawk. Only time we've ever really differed is like, this is the worst shit I've ever heard.
Tomahawk,
dude.
Man.
I know you're ready to go to war with a tomahawk for a tomahawk, but so I'm like, all right, I got to give this its due day in the sun here. And it was that good, man. It's that good. Fucking The Weeknd, throwing it down, my friend.
Weeknd knows his business.
Tremendous voice, like blew my mind. Really good.
Yep, outstanding production from other people. It's just great.
So agreed on The Weeknd. I retract every previous shitty Weeknd statement I ever had. The Weeknd rules. I stink. I stink DiCaprio hard when it comes to commenting on The Weeknd.
Yeah, you should. The Weeknd's guesting on the new Tomahawk record, I heard.
A match made in heaven, my friend.
For sure.
All right. I've got one more confession here.
All right.
Can I get a confession?
We're doing a confession.
All right. Confessions. So I am watching The Jersey Shore and I like it.
Oh, Lord.
Key factor of this statement being watching, present tense, not I had watched The Jersey Shore when I was age appropriate to do so and when it was culturally significant.
The Jersey Shore?
The Jersey Shore. There's now some family Jersey Shores thing, which I haven't gotten into yet.
I've never heard anybody call it The Jersey Shore. I thought it was just Jersey
Possibly
Shore.
just Jersey Shore. I don't know.
I'm watching the Jersey Shore.
This is how much of an old man I am talking about this, and I realize how wildly sad this is, but it is what it is, like.
What's the Snooky or whatever?
We're talking Snooki, we're talking JWoww, we're talking The Situation.
Yeah, The Situation.
It's just great. The first couple seasons.
That's a huge name. I gotta allow that guy's name. That's a huge call.
Huge call, huge abs, tremendous human being.
Huge tan.
But huge tan. First couple seasons were pretty legitimately amazing because it's just like this absurd crowd of, fucking degenerate drunk fuck ups, and these guys are just like, yeah, I'm super classy. I'm a super classy guy, so I like my fucking sluts to be real classy like I am too, Just going off. And then it got super produced as every reality show does. And I do not watch reality shows, but I was looking for something to turn the brain off. Like, I've got to have something I can go to sleep to and not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
That's how it started. And
that's how they all work. Dude.
I'm engrossed in the Jersey Shore. And then it turned from a go to sleep show to must watch television 10 years after the fact, like a pathetic fuck. So it is what it is.
Do you remember no, you should probably hang yourself on that one in the Cornell suite. Do you remember the fucking show? I don't remember what they called it, but it was another MTV reality show, and it was Paris Hilton and
The Surreal Life.
The Surreal Life, dude.
Yes.
What's her name?
I don't even know if it was an MTV show, but I know exactly.
All right, they were all MTV shows at the end of the day.
Whatever the fuck it was.
And they were like doing like they like
Nicole
lived on a
Richie,
Nicole
Lionel
Richie,
Richie's daughter.
Yes, I was thinking Richie. Who the fuck's his daughter?
Soak it in a little bit.
And they went out and like I remember watching it, and they were like living on some farm, and they were trying to like.
This is gross. I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
this
they were trying
gross.
to like fucking kill a
Walmart.
chicken or something, and they were like, "We don't do chickens.
We don't do chickens.
We don't." I can't like defeather this chicken.
Oh,
'cause
Jesus
we don't,
Christ.
Like, do that. That's not hot.
Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian before Kim Kardashian. There you go.
Yeah, well, Kim Kardashian did the whole Paris Hilton playbook, dude. Put out a porn movie and you're set.
Maybe that's what we need to do to set the podcast off. We got to put out a fuck tape with us getting banged / banging somebody, possibly banging each other, whatever's going to sell tickets and get content done. We'll shoot that shit in fucking night vision Paris Hilton style and get after it, man. That seems to be the playbook.
Indeed.
We'll call Ray J in here. We'll do it up right. Was it Ray J? I was one of those fucking guys.
I don't know.
Insert Ray J like object here.
It's been a minute since I was
possibly
up on that
Nick
shit.
Cannon. A little
Nick
Bow
Cannon.
Wow. / just Bow Wow.
Yeah, that's the move.
That's all I got. I'm confessed, and that's good. The soul feels cleansed, my friend. That was
confession.
That had to be done. Got a lot off my chest. I feel like
we'll put
like a better human being.
We'll put some echo on it or whatever.
Confession. Got a straight. Let's just call it confessions, but rip the Conan soundbite of secrets from back in the day. All right, we're gonna get into our confessions. Secrets. Just repurpose that Goldblum material.
Conan's the man.
People always ask me if my name's pronounced Goldblum or Goldblum. I tell them the same thing every time. How dare you speak to me? It's a fucking classic material. Some Hank's Confessions material back in the day, or Secrets material.
So is Conan's, he doesn't even have a show anymore, right? Or what?
No, he bailed off TBS. You and a couple other people were telling me about the Conan Needs Friends podcast, which I should probably listen to so we can make this podcast better.
Yep.
Top priority.
Yep.
Continue to mooch Conan podcast material. Just mooch the next iteration of Conan.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it in a while. You know what happened? This is kind of fucked up. Is I quit listening to it when Rogan moved to Spotify because, like everybody else, it fucking worked. Fuck you, Spotify. Indeed. I fucking started listening to everything, and I never like resubscribed to Conan or whatever.
By the way, Dangerville Podcast available on Spotify.
Spotify now.
True story. Yeah. That was also glorious, by the way, because you were behind the scenes going off. I fucking hate Spotify.
I do fucking hate Spotify.
Dude, it crashes out. It will just jump arbitrarily to the next
worst
podcast.
Fucking podcast platform. Fuck
and then I get
Spotify.
the link from Boss D from the last podcast up on Spotify.
So what they have done is Spotify
created
created a platform that allows you to upload your podcasts on shit, and you can connect it to other platforms and shit, which I just haven't done yet. And I gotta say, it's pretty user friendly. I looked into a couple of the platforms. Releasing music, I use I use CD Baby and DistroKid and whatever the fuck else. It's kind of the same kind of situation where they'll distribute your shit. It's a platform. It's great. And so yeah, Spotify, but also their app is garbage. dude, I'll be like, yo Siri, play me. Did I already do this on the fucking podcast?
Do it again. It's Siri material never goes old, never goes flat.
I'll be like, yo Siri, because I'll be like playing Rogan on fucking Spotify, and I'll want to hear fucking some, I'll be like, yo Siri, play me Megadeth, and it'll be like, here's Megadeth, and then it'll be like, it'll play something unrelated, completely.
Right.
I don't even know how the fuck you got this.
They got some Creedence Clearwater kicking in there.
What the fuck?
Yeah, indeed.
Or it'll be like, I'll ask for a specific album, and they'll play me like not even anything close. I don't have this problem at all with fucking Apple Music, which is fucking. I'm dick riding Apple Music too. It's by far superior platform.
Without question. Seconded.
Yeah, so I fucking hate Spotify. Their podcasts are dropping all the time. It'll like, I'll be playing fucking Rogan and fucking stroking it, and then fucking all of a sudden it'll like, it's almost like when he uploads a new episode, it'll like jump to that episode or
Listen
something.
to this. Watch this. Go to
it's
this.
like, what the fuck, dude? I'm in the middle of this other episode. Why did this just stop? Or
Do
like,
we not already have short enough attention spans as a society without being redirected to the immediately new thing that pops
and they're
up?
fucking ads. I'm trying to like, I'm not subscribing to shit. So
oh yeah, fuck that. Dude.
But like, so I'll pull it up, and when you open it on your phone, it's like showing you like fucking like graphic ads, and I'm like, fuck, I'm just trying to fucking stop the show for a minute,
I'm like, trying to listen to Paul Stamets talk about mycelium on Rogan, for Christ's sakes. Like, quit fucking redirecting me here, son. Breaking my balls.
The fuck off, man.
Breaking my balls, Spotify.
Yeah, so I fucking hate Spotify. So anyway, get the show on Spotify. We're on Spotify. Yo, it's the fucking Dangerville Podcast. We're on YouTube. Dangerville Podcast, Dangerville channel. Dangerville on Spotify. It'll be up on Apple Music soon.
Buy it more. Buy it twice, dude. Subscribe twice.
We'll be on Patreon because I got bills to pay.
Because we got to get paid, son.
So that's it. Go fuck yourself. This is Dangerville. Fuck off.
Peace.